Oh, I like that. You just said, oh, we're ready?
Well, I was ready and then I wasn't. That's kind of what happened.
Oh.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. And
it's guess what day it is? Oh, see, Ronnie now puts it in caps so we can't miss it.
So we know what day it is. Well, happy
Thanks,
Thursday.
Ronnie. I actually remembered it was Thursday today.
Happy Did you? Look at you.
Yeah, I did. I'm catching up.
You want to know why I know it's Thursday, Nez? Because Pam Silvestri is going to be on our show today.
See, yeah, right, and that that kind of helps keeps us in line. We used to know what day it was by which bowlers were here. You know, even if for some reason I forgot what day it was, I could walk in on any morning, afternoon, or night and see one or two people and know what night it was.
Of course, that's how we. That's how.
But
this
now
place
our
works.
frame of reference is totally gone.
It's really bad.
It's totally gone.
Well, happy Thursday and welcome to Live from Rabs from Inside Rabs Country Lanes, episode 72.
Can you imagine that?
No, and
closing in on the big 100.
Hi, everybody. Closing in on the 100. Oof, and it's day 80
days
of this quarantine because of all this shit happening around us.
Shit that's happening around us. Well, the good thing is the news continues to be good in the pandemic world, at least.
Yes.
The numbers continue to drop and everything looks like it's on track.
Yeah.
And, hopefully all of this protesting and people being around with no masks on doesn't send us into another shutdown. But we're not even going to look. We're going to look on the bright side.
Yes,
we're going to look on the sunny side.
And the sad part going into this before this was going on around the country, there were talks about another potential wave because of the unknown, and so a little scary that if this wasn't anticipated. So if this is not what they were referring to,
well,
so
it's
hopefully
just like kind of testing the system a little bit, maybe.
If it tests the system, it could be extremely well, and everybody's going to say, "Oh, look, I was in the street with tens of thousands of people, and then we have no problems 2 weeks later." Or I hate to even say it, but
don't say it then.
If you don't
say it, you're not putting it out in the universe.
I don't want it to be out in the universe. I'm sure I'm not the only person. I'm sure people have been talking. People are talking about it. People think it's in the universe, but we don't want to put it in the universe.
We don't.
So
it's
bad enough that
things
we even
happy.
dabbled. Speaking of happy, did you see this story, Nez? I have to share this. This is really cool. So in Minneapolis,
you know what? When I saw that, you know what I thought of? I thought of the Sandy thing. Yeah, this was
unbelievable. There was a call. So in a Minneapolis school in an area where little access to food because of the looting,
right?
And it's already
I saw
an oppressed neighborhood. You have to see these pictures. It's incredible. They were planning on feeding like 50 to 100 families.
Yeah, and the overwhelming response was
30,000 packages.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But that just proves how much good we have in this world, and that people do want to help. And if you give them an opportunity, and it kind of give them a road to go down, that we'll have people have that opportunity to help. And you know what? And that's the premise behind I believe behind volunteering, is if everybody does a little, it's a lot. And that's the perfect story. I know they were overwhelmed.
They were extremely overwhelmed. They didn't know. Almost didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And you're right. It kind of when I read that, I basically felt like we were living in October of 2000, whatever that 11, whatever 12, whenever Sandy was, and 30,000. They and I'm sure there were more because the story made national news and people were continuing to send and I hope that encourages other communities
Right,
to really
and other
help
and
each
other
other
people. I
in
mean, it
different ways.
started with one person's idea.
Yeah.
I think maybe they said it was the principal or somebody in the school.
Yeah.
Said, this is, why don't we do this? That's how ideas start. And you have an idea like that, and especially at a time like this, it really seems like people are looking to find good and to do good.
Oh, yeah.
And listen, protesting is great, and sharing things on social media is fine, but actually doing something, doing
your actions speak louder than words in many cases, right? So
absolutely.
You want to encourage people to, and so even during the pandemic, when the first shutdown first happened, people were ready to help people. But I mean, nobody knew how to help people. It wasn't like there was a flood and people need clothes, and it wasn't anything like that. It was because we want to help, but we really can't help because
this affected everybody. Well, how can I help you? I
can't help myself.
I'm not putting
right. And so and financially, so I mean, a lot of people came together to help feed our workers on the front lines and those in our community. People made donations to purchase PPE. I mean, there were lots of good things that happened. Yeah. But it's a struggle because and especially in this community, where everybody wants to jump up. Even in our Rotary Club, conversations happening. Hey, what could we do? What could we do? Yeah. And hey, there wasn't much at the time to truly really consider. Right. Now that we're coming out of it, at some point we're going to start seeing a larger need because people need financial help, some hardships, no jobs,
and businesses.
And so, businesses
are going to need our local small businesses are going to need our support.
And it might just be making sure you go out to dinner, making sure you shop local.
Shop local, do what you can, support small businesses, because you know what? When push came to shove, the small businesses were the ones that were there for our community. So, that's
speaking of people in our community and our front line, Naz.
What a segue.
Perfect segue. Naz, you've invited a guest today.
I did. I invited Dan O'Sullivan, one of our bowlers, who also works at Staten Island University Hospital North here over on Seaview Avenue, and he's been busy. I'm gonna say he's been super busy, and he's been healthy, and thank God. And he's gonna join us and tell us a little bit about what the last how many days 80 days have been like for him. Hi, Dan.
Hey guys. Hey.
So how are you doing?
I can't believe it's 80 days.
Neither can we.
Like it was so busy in the beginning. Like I don't even know what day of the week it was, or how many days, what month it was. So, in the month of March and April, it was so busy. Patients were so sick that it was just unimaginable how much work we had to do. Didn't have enough nurses, didn't have enough beds for these people. Things have gotten better now, so it's relieving at least to see like improvement in everybody.
And they talk about obviously you were working a ton of hours, and but that mentally just constantly seeing people so sick, and probably a lot of people that that's got to take like a mental toll on you too, I would think.
Yeah. Like pretty much every day, like I went home from work, and every day all I could think about was back to work and going back to these people that weren't getting better. I mean, the people that got better, it took weeks for them to get to the point where they were not intubated, showing signs of improvement. But yeah, mentally, I was shocked pretty much.
Yeah. So how was that like to come home to your family too? And probably the worry about, what am I bringing home with me? And so how did you kind of handle that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really a worrywart, so I don't. I mean, I took precautions. I took my clothes off before I came in the house and jumped in the shower right away. Didn't made sure I cleaned up before I, saw the kids or anything like that.
Right.
And thankfully, I never got sick.
Good.
And I never brought it home to them. So it was just, I mean, if it was a lucky thing, then so be it.
Yeah.
I could only imagine your wife.
She meets you at the driveway with a hose.
Yeah, right. And a bucket of water.
Yeah.
Well, and Dan, a family of bowlers, and so Dan's been around Rabs for quite some time, and sometimes we tell these stories, and I go back when Marco had sent some pizzas over, and you sent us that photo, and then somebody said, "I didn't know that." I didn't know what Dan did for a living. I mean, it's funny because we're all in this community together, and we see each other so often. But sometimes
we don't know.
We don't know anything. So it's really cool, and then it's cool to see that community of people come together and support you guys, and we appreciate everything that you guys do. You guys have put yourselves out there. I mean, it's a job that we take for granted, and so when you have a pandemic like this, all of a sudden, wait a second, this isn't just an ordinary issue.
Right.
And so we saw that, and everybody appreciates the work that you guys do. And I know from this point forward, at least for a period of time, it won't be taken for granted.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Share a little bit about what's happening now. So, we're coming out of this. There have been some great news out of all three hospitals. I'm sure it's maybe not as scary, so to speak, but what does the environment look like today?
So yeah, the numbers have gotten really down. Like there's not many COVID patients anymore. Like my unit for the last month, my unit has not been COVID patients, so I haven't even taken care of them. But it's on top of that, like there's no visitors allowed. And there's nothing really going on. So even though night shift is normally, quiet, it's even quieter. Like there's nobody other than the patients and the workers.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, the good thing is that the numbers are down. So right now, not that I want people to jump out and go near each other, just in case, but things have improved. Things are much better.
Yeah, that had to be an additional burden, I would think, to have people that were gravely ill in the hospital who could not have their family there with them. That must have been heartbreaking as a healthcare worker, as a nurse, to kind of nurture those people, like having to take care of kind of both sides of them.
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, they did set up iPads where you could FaceTime people, and we were even FaceTiming people that were vented, the families, at least see their their family member. So at least there was that. I mean, most of these people were so sick they couldn't even talk on the phone to their family. So that was that was another thing.
So you nurses essentially became family for them.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much. It was, and again, just so weird to not have families there with supporting their sick ones.
Yeah, and you nurses become family to begin with, right? So it's depending on your stay and what you're there for. If you're there for a period of time, I mean, you wind up developing this relationship, and you want to hope that relationship is very helpful for the family. And so, to your point, like if you can't visit, you have to have comfort that somebody's there that's
taking
going to
care,
and the communication alone.
Yeah,
if you go visit someone, you have the opportunity to walk out of the room, right? When you're putting yourself in a position where you're FaceTiming someone and it's just different, and it's not the same because you want closure. You want to be close to someone in their time, to the best of your ability. So I mean, that's why you guys are superstars. That's why you guys are rock stars.
Dan, I cannot. There is no. I can't even imagine. I'm just talking as one person. the amount of gratitude that families, and I'm sure they've shown you, I'm sure some of them have shown you, that they must have to know that somebody was there looking after their family member and just, you know, giving that extra little care, just watching out for them. And it's a amazing job. And I'm it's amazing.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
It's been, we've appreciated it. People have been sending all this food and, you know, donations. And I mean, forget that we can't go out. We're you know, we're stuck in the house every day. I'm like, I gained like 20 pounds just from everybody's food.
Hey, you know, when we do a job that we love, and so how long have you been working at the hospital?
14 years.
And so 14 years, I don't want to take words out of your mouth, but I would imagine you've seen many things and this is not something you've seen. But
nothing even close.
Has this changed?
Nothing even close to this.
Has this changed the way that you look at your work?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Maybe it got me to take for granted the good times.
You'll appreciate it a little bit more.
Yeah, but you know, sick people are sick people. So to me, like, it was just a busier time for us, you know.
Yeah.
I think maybe I'll see more. Maybe we'll see more of it afterwards, when all the dust is settled and we're back to a normal, you know, life. Right now, it's just you do what you can do. Like, and I'm sure now your daughter is the same way. Like, we rise up to whatever we have to do for the day. And if the day calls for more work, then that day we do it. Then the next day, if it's less work, it's less work.
And that's why nurses are they are honestly the foundation of healthcare. I honestly, I'm not discrediting doctors. They do wonderful things, but the actual extra care that the patient gets and nurses do an amazing job. Amazing job.
And nurses are the ones that are going to spend more bedside time with their patients. So of course that's again, take it for granted because the doctor is X, Y, and Z, you know, is going to do X.
Right, right. He's going to breathe in.
Without the nurse, the doctor can't do their work.
Right. So did you ever consider doing something else, or did you always feel like this is what you wanted to do? Don't stare at me like that. He's frozen up.
I think he froze up there. You there? Knock, knock.
There he is.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, my connection's not the greatest. I guess. Yeah, in the beginning, I really didn't know what I wanted to do with myself. I went to college for a couple of years and didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I kind of just lingered around taking classes towards nothing. Right. And then, I just decided I wanted to go. I like the medical field, and I picked nursing as a way to do the medical field. And, you know, I like to do work and care for people, stuff like that, rather than sit in an office, right, Frankie?
Yeah, an office. My office is this 40,000 square foot building that we get to run around all day. I mean, we've got.
That's true.
Naz and I have the best office there is.
Yeah. Right now.
It's sadly right. Not right now. Not the second.
No.
No, and it's true. And that what he's saying, Dan. It takes special people to do that work. So to know that you found this as your way, and then of course to stick with it and be a part of it.
Yeah.
It really does take somebody special. So kudos to you. I was going to ask the same question. Hey, what got you there? What was your moment?
I know Nazareth had several like little mini mental breakdowns during her schooling for nursing, and I know that I know it's a tough road. It's a lot of work to even get that far, and
No, not one nurse didn't have a breakdown in school. Everybody did.
It wouldn't be normal not to. Hey, Dan, one message that you would share, a piece of advice for someone that says to you, "Hey, I want to be a nurse." somebody came to you and asked you, what would that be?
Well, I always tell everybody it's not for everybody, and you have to be able to deal with certain bodily fluids and stuff like that. So it takes a certain stomach and say something like that to get through and be a nurse. So you just got to have a strong stomach and be able to deal with certain things to get through nursing. That's what I always try to tell anybody that might have an interest in. And a lot of people, when you talk to a lot of people, they get turned away because of something like that. So that to me is the most important. And it's a tough job.
Yeah. It's definitely not an easy job. Not an easy job.
For sure. Hey, Dan, thank you so much for popping in and joining us today. Dan O'Sullivan, our hero of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you for all that you do, and we look forward to seeing you, Marissa, the kids, and your family here on the
Dan, I bet you can't wait to get back to bowling.
I can't wait. I miss it. I miss you guys.
Well, you get on the VIP line to the pro shop to get all your equipment adjusted.
Oh yeah, I will.
Nice, you said that in public. Be careful.
I did. It's already. He gets VIP access.
Love it. Dan, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. All right.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Dan O'Sullivan, everybody. Our hero of the day. Thank you, Dan. Thank you.
So many nurses and so many PCAs and health. Everybody, it's a tough job, and you know what? They're finally. And we miss you guys too. We miss everybody. We miss everybody being here with us.
Mike, I think you make more noise trying not to make noise.
Yeah, just get what you have to get, and don't try to be quiet. He definitely makes more noise.
We ran the lane machine. Michael ran the lane machine today, and he's putting it back, and he's being so diligent and quiet trying to put it. It's like trying to open up the bag of chips very quietly.
Or a kid that's trying to sneak in at night.
Just do it.
Just come in and let it be.
Well, so Echo, we miss you guys too, Marissa, and we're patiently waiting for our friend Pam to join us today. Pam is she had an engagement prior to, so she should be here in a few minutes, and we'll get a little update. I missed her update this morning.
I caught half of it, I believe. Yes.
So the restaurant scene is changing again. A couple of restaurants. I did see that Bruno's opened up on Forest Avenue. Which we didn't know if that would actually happen.
Yep.
He opened up there. We saw that sadly down the block. Project Brunch decided to close their doors.
Oh, did they?
Just the location on Forest. So lots of different, and for different reasons. I mean, they had they have a business there that has a great niche. They were opened up for dinner service. They were trying different things. And maybe just this could have, I don't know. I haven't gotten more information on that, but at least we did see that in the headline. So when Pam comes on, maybe she could
enlighten us a little bit.
And there was a good question in here. I think Dennis asked, and we're going to make sure we ask.
Oh, about her favorite recipe?
What's her go-to meal in a jiffy, in a snap? Speaking of meals, before we got on, I didn't get it. We literally just got up here right in time to go on, and we went live. I think it was 2:00 when we pushed live. I mean, we were ready to roll today.
We were on.
If only you saw the few minutes. So you cooked, and you just told me about the dinner you made last night, but I cut you off because I wanted you to share with our viewers and our friends. You're like so excited about the dinner you made.
I was very excited. I used my cast iron skillet again from Pampered Chef, my good friend Donna.
How big is
it? It's a 12-inch. Nice. Perfect size for. If it was a tiny bit bigger, it would have been good. Anyway,
you were able to do 2 steaks at a time?
Seared the steaks, some butter, some nice fresh rosemary that I went in my garden and picked, and some garlic, and yep.
Oh, so you did the whole scoop and
pour, yeah.
And then you took it off the heat?
Came out perfectly. Yep, let it sit for 15 minutes. Roasted some carrots. And of course, prerequisite salad that we have. And yeah, it was a very nice
what
meal.
kind
It
of
was
what kind of
very
steaks
simple.
did you have?
The ribeyes.
So you had ribeyes,
Rib steak,
And-
not ribeyes.
rib steaks. I mean,
yeah,
ribeye
with the bone in, because I like bone in.
I just ordered a couple of bone-in ribeyes. I'm looking forward to that for this week. So you see, what did you salt, pepper?
Salt and pepper, just a little salt and pepper.
Ray is a lucky guy. Look at that, nice steak last night.
Rub it in a little bit. Let it sit for a few minutes. Seared it.
Sometimes people do way too much. Like meat should
They
be
say
very
minimum
simple.
you should do to a steak. Minimum.
Yeah. That's what I do. I don't do the whole butter, the garlic thing.
I usually don't either, but I
do
saw
like
it, and it really added a nice little zing to the steak.
Zing.
A little
I do
zing.
I take the coarse salt, pepper,
Yes.
and then the rosemary, and then grind that together and almost make
you
like a rosemary
like the
salt.
rosemary salt, like the
And then
guy
rub the
on the
steak.
TikTok makes.
And then somebody on the TikTok.
Yes. He had sage in it.
Sage works too. I'll take the sage and I'll leave the leaves, but I'll leave them in the pan, almost kind of using like a.
He makes the rosemary salt with sage and rosemary.
I usually do thyme, rosemary, salt, pepper. Rub the steak, a little olive oil, and then I'll grill, and then let them sit, and then I'll grill them from there.
Yeah, no, it came out perfect.
And grilling, getting the meat to room temperature. Don't take it out of the refrigerator.
No, I let it sit. I let it sit out on the counter. Yeah, they said that's a big thing too. It helps the outside sear better.
Yeah. And the hardest thing to do is not eat it right away. You should always let the meat sit for a little while.
That's why I make sure I like stagger the cooking when I do that, so that I'm not ready to eat.
I'm not good at that because I'm always ready to jump in. So I've learned to do that too.
I won't tell you.
I'll do the vegetables.
One of my favorite parts of the meal, I got this delicious loaf of bread, seeded bread, fresh.
Stick in the pan.
And while I was cooking, I poured myself a nice glass of wine. I buttered a piece of bread, and I was like,
that's not you.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Wow. I will say if they put that bread, I will not ask for the bread basket sometimes.
To me, the combination of bread and wine
bread and wine.
They give it in church. It's hallowed. It's just meant to be.
I'll dip the bread in the wine.
Really?
Yes.
That sounds like something I might. I don't know.
You know what my favorite thing to dip in wine? I'm gonna have to ask Pam. The Italian fennel crackers. The S's or the what are they called? Oh, speaking of Pam,
and here she is.
Pam is here,
and we're talking about food.
So Pam, hello, welcome. We are talking about last night's dinner, and Naz. I don't know if you caught us the other day. Naz asked for a wine suggestion because she's not a big drinker, but she was looking for a glass of wine, so she got to enjoy her wine last night with a piece of bread and then this ribeye steak that sounds phenomenal.
My mouth is watering. Sounds good.
Last night, Anthony. So I cooked the night before. I don't know if I told you this. Yeah. I took chicken breasts. I took fennel and cooked it down with garlic, rosemary, wine, and a little chicken stock. And then I took that out of the pan and then put chicken. I had just chicken breast and then brought it all together. It was awesome. Skinless or organic skinless chicken breasts.
There it is.
I happened to get them from Costco because I will say of the meats, that's the meat I do like from Costco.
I was going to say, was it mechanically?
It wasn't injected. No, that's the
mechanically tenderized.
Yeah, to tenderized. No, it wasn't tenderized. So last night, Anthony made a shrimp and pasta dish. Lemon, lots of different flavors.
Oh,
yeah, he had some fun.
Anthony, it's
that's one of his go-to like quick meals.
You have a couple of people that like to cook in your house, and that's nice.
Yes,
because it gives you a little bit of a break. In my house, nobody else cooking.
I cooked for like 4 days straight, and so Anthony cooked last night, and he says, "Oh, tomorrow, what are you making tomorrow?" I looked and I was like, "I just cooked the first 4 days." So my mother turns around and she goes, "Actually, we'll take some chicken out. She wanted barbecue chicken." I said, "Oh, so Mom's not going to cook; she's just going to marinate the chicken, and so Frank's still got to cook it." But that's all right; it's delicious. Hey, so Pam, there's a question for you to start the show.
Okay. Well, hello, everybody.
Hi, Pam.
And nice to see you guys. Hello, Arthur and Anne. And all Catherine. Hello. Rob and Laura. Cool. Wow, you got a lot of people today. Hello, Arthur. Thanks for asking for me. Dennis. Hi. Dennis, what's my favorite thing in a pinch?
Yep. That was the question. He rolls right into the conversation.
I used to do breakfast night for the kids. And then I did it a little too often, and then they got tired of it. So an omelet was my go-to thing for a while, and then I did. Now I do I'll take chicken breasts and I'll sear them in butter. It has to be butter. I'll sear them on both sides. Sometimes I'll flour them, and then I'll deglaze the pan with a little bit of white wine, and then serve it with artichokes or mushrooms. And the kids won't eat the vegetable part, so I'll just put the chicken part on the side. Sometimes I'll flour it and put it in there and sear it on both sides, and then I'll finish it in the oven too. But just make sure it's cooked through. But that's kind of my go-to dish.
That sounds.
That's similar to if in our house a go-to dish a lot of times is pasta because it's easy, but
Right.
very similar. Same vegetables. I mean, whatever we got, throw it in the
Right,
pan.
you put it in
Kind of
the
the
pan,
same base
yep.
and make it work. But I like that with the chicken. Kind of similar to the chicken I made the other night. Just a basic premise of.
Yeah.
Oh, see, check that out. Pam's and what would be Dave's go-to?
Oh, David is a meat and potatoes guy, and my husband is very he could cook the same thing every night, like roast beef or beef and potatoes. That is his family. That's his MO. And it's interesting. Last night we ordered from Jack Mao restaurant in your neck of the woods. We got sushi and Chinese food. And it was nice because we sat down on the, my son asking me something. Tell them what we did for your anniversary. Yes.
Hey, buddy.
Andrew, James, you want to say hello?
Oh, that's right. Happy anniversary, right? Your anniversary, right?
This is my
Hey, Val.
Hi.
hello. Good boy.
So did you have to do the whole dinner on the floor? Did you sit on the floor? Is that what you were getting at?
We took our coffee table and we sat on pillows, and my brother Andrew did a what was it called again? Hibachi show where he
I love it.
took an orange, banana, salt, and garlic, and he was smashing it. It was really fun.
Somehow he remembered the guy Dickie from
Harry Rang.
Harry Rang, and he remembered him from when he was a kid. Thank you, James. And he remembered how the guy had the egg on the spatula, the volcano, and everything. And he was doing the whole impression, the whole 9 yards. So anyway, I thought that was cute.
And it's funny that you share that because on the TikTok and even in the social media spaces, people are have been doing family themed dinners.
Yeah.
And hibachi is one of them that I see very often.
Yeah.
And everybody, I mean, they're all the same. They all go to the same school, I guess, right?
Right.
And they all have the same jokes. And they're all duplicating, and it's hysterical. It's absolutely. But then I saw somebody did a luau night, and they showed this video of everybody getting dressed up, and then they had a pig, and I mean they went all out. And then there's the other ones that just do something, but it's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, years ago, we used to go. I remember one time when we did this nice little picnic thing with the boys. David was working, and I took the boys to the Westerly Folk Festival, and that's kind of cool over there. They have all the yes, Andrew. Sorry. Westerly Folk Festival, they had these stuffed animals that my kids wanted. So they were these bears that this woman collected, and she passed away, and her sister was selling off her teddy bears. So the kids, we bought 2 of the bears, and we named one of them Clinton B. Fisk, which is after the name of one of the streets that goes through Prohibition Park. And we went back home, and I made them a little dinner where it was actually a little picnic, and I served it up in their room, and we sat on the floor, and we had a party with the bears, our new bears, and so I was reminded of that. Good times. Make the best of it.
That's right. You make the best of what you got, and you have to have some fun, especially around food. So we talked a little bit before you came on. We talked a little bit about. I had seen that Bruno's on Forest Avenue was reopening. We see that sadly. Project Brunch on Forest Avenue is shutting their doors. What other
changes are coming up?
Changes on the scene this week. Have you seen?
Well, we're seeing a lot of coffee shops modify their hours. They seem to be doing it all at one time. Starbucks set the trend on Staten Island, where Starbucks did it like first they started at like odd hours, like 10 to 2.
Yeah.
And then they kind of lengthened them. And the one out in Richmond Valley is actually open the longest. It's open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. But recently they started putting into play, and I guess maybe because of the curfew or what have you, they put into play that you have to get your coffee and go through the drive-through by 5:45. Boom, they cut you off. So if you live out on the South Shore and you take advantage of that drive-through, you know, it's something to remember. But Bloom Cafe opened in Rosebank.
I asked about that. I saw Bloom Cafe was opening back up, right?
And she did pretty well today. I think she's open from like 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's two women, Danielle and Linda, and they have that place. Then also Fab Cup in West Brighton is open, again, modified hours. Now they're open a little bit longer from, I believe it's 8 a.m. to like 4 p.m. And then the place over in Newdorp, Sips and Maker, she just started opening up again, and she's got like, she's hopefully doing well, but she's like one of the other businesses on Newdorp Lane that's starting to like perk up the neighborhood. No pun intended with the coffee. You know, she's got like a little gift shop there. Her name is Estera.
Yeah.
And she's got a gift shop, and she's got gourmet coffees, and she gets pies from a place in Brooklyn called Black 2022 Blackbirds. I'm so bad with this name, but anyway, it's she gets like really beautiful gourmet pies and stuff like that. So she's doing nice things.
I pass it. I have yet to. It's a shit. Tomorrow on my way in, I should stop because I come that way from work, from home, and I've been making my cappuccino at home because it's the whole Starbucks experience. They were closed, they were open.
Right.
Then it's not 100% enjoyable. It's weird. But when I did it, I've been going in between, kind of staggering it, almost like weaning myself back to my regular schedule. But I passed by and they were closed, so I just never. But I've heard it. I've heard she's got a great little concept there, and I heard a lot about those pies.
Yeah, she does a nice job. And also just one thing here about Fab Cup. The woman is from Moldova, and she makes these crepes that are kind of typical of her country. Very light, and she makes them with cottage cheese. And then the other thing, there's two other coffee shops that have kind of modified hours and delivery. It's Beans and Leaves, which is doing delivery all over the island for their beans. And also they used to do during the COVID crisis, when it was really bad, they were doing bereavement packages. And now they call that like a comfort package, basically. So she kind of has been doing that very well. It's interesting. And and then one more. There's the place called the Mustard Seed. It's a Christian cafe in West Brighton.
Right on Forest there.
Yeah, they just changed ownership. The guy who owns it now is Joe Aleon. He owns Basil Cucina, which is that's a nice place. He did a beautiful job with the whole transition into this dined out only format, because he was already doing a lot of to-go to begin with. So he has really beautiful packaging. Yeah. So anyway, just some places to talk about.
Basil's got a great thing. He's got organic food. We had last Friday before bingo, we had salads from there. I mean, this mesclun salad with butternut squash, goat cheese. I mean, it was just this really nice flavor. And who puts roasted butternut squash in a salad? And he's a great guy. He's always innovative. To your point, he's been doing a lot of takeout to begin with. He does a lot of catering. So during this, I saw that he was doing prepackaged meals at a lower cost for some of the organizations, the food pantries. He's on Forest. He's in. Yeah, he's right next to there's a Burger King over there at Willowbrook Avenue. Okay. Yeah.
Down that end in Port Richmond. So, and then let's see, Arthur here wants to know, how did I get started in this career? Okay, well, I'll start very briefly. I started at the Staten Island Advance 16 years ago. I got the job because my editor, Mr. Leyline, used to be a regular in our restaurant. It was called American Grill. It was on Forest Avenue. And anyway, we were talking, and he said, I had worked at the Advance when I was in high school because I had always done journalism. I was in my high school newspaper at St. Joseph Hill Academy. It was called The Summit. And I was the managing editor for that at one point. I was so disappointed when I didn't get the editor-in-chief position. But my teacher, my lovely teacher, who I still keep in touch with, Mr. Callahan, said to me, Pamela, don't worry about it. He said, do you know that with a managing editor's position, you get to work as a teen correspondent for the Staten Island Advance? And I was like, well, that's pretty cool. Okay, all right, I'll take it. And anyway, it turned out I met Les Troutman and years and years ago, Claire Regan and some of the other editors there. I don't know, I certainly don't think they remembered me, but it was a memorable experience for me. And, meeting deadlines and dropping off the column. I got paid $10 for each column. And then anyway, so when I went to college, I continued to write a column. And then I had mentioned this to Brian, Mr. Leyline, he was at the restaurant. And he said, oh, you know what? He said, would you be interested in writing a column at the Staten Island Advance? It's called, I said, sure. He goes, what do you think you could write about? I said, I would love to write about ethnic food. And this is back in 2004, 2005. And he said, well, there's no ethnic food on Staten Island. I said, sure there is. There's a lot of ethnic food. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, is there a lot of ethnic food? Maybe he's right.
I got to start writing about it.
So then I was just like, I just continued with the career. And, I started this column called Traditions. Claire Regan came up with the name of it. And it was a great name. I got to meet a whole bunch of people. I spoke Spanish. So it was, good to go down to Port Richmond Avenue. I got familiar with the neighborhood and a lot of the business owners there. So, with those connections over time. Hold on one second. My son is saying, I'm going to the park. Okay.
See you later.
All right.
I love that how they're holding.
Open up signs.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Have fun at the park. Be safe.
And then, but I just want to point out too, it's kind of, I grew up in a time of restaurants in the 1970s. My Uncle Jim had a restaurant on the Upper East Side of Manhattan called Jim McMullen's. And my Uncle Jim was a Ford model, and he had a little bit of a following that kind of came with him to a place. He first opened up a restaurant called Harper's. It was on 3rd Avenue, and it was near J.G. Mellon's. And my uncle was like, he had a bunch of partners. They were all models, and they all had this great bar business. And then basically some guy named Norman Alexander, who somehow invented polyester or nylon or some major thing. And the guy was like, hey, I'll, back you in a restaurant. And so my uncle was able to open up his own restaurant a few blocks up on 3rd Avenue. It was called Jim McMullen's. Hi, honey. And it turned out to be a nice restaurant. And he, that's where I got most of the recipes for my restaurant, American Grill. We fine-tuned them, but the menu from his restaurant was the menu I used in my restaurant on Staten Island. So, and that's how I met, all those people, and that's how things happen. So.
And you talk about the restaurant, and we've talked about it in previous weeks here on the show. But you spent through all of this and through doing lives, you've talked about it more. I think, did that inspire you to talk a little bit about the restaurant in your recent article the other day? Kind of taking that trip down memory lane.
Oh yeah, it's interesting because I think in this difficult time, sometimes it is. I'm enjoying being home with the children. I'll be honest with you, and it's not so easy working and trying to turn out 2 or 3 columns a day, or stories a day. It's not so easy interviewing people in the house. But I sometimes, just to anchor myself, I have to think back to some of the nicer times with people.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking and reflecting a lot, about the times at American Grill. Somebody actually, the inspiration for that tidbit in the column was a friend of mine, Jody Siegel. She had posted a menu that she found in her whatever pile of stuff. She posted it. It was a happy birthday menu for her daughter, Jessie, that we had printed. And I used to have a tradition in the restaurant at the American Grill where I would, on the menu, the American Grill menu, I would write happy birthday, whatever, Jessie. And the tradition started was because on 9/11, it started on 9/11 because I didn't think it was tasteful to sing happy birthday on a day that was really somber for some people. So for about 2 weeks, we didn't sing happy birthday or happy anniversary or anything. But what we did do is we put a candle in, a dessert with whipped cream, and the pastry chef wrote on the plate in chocolate, like happy birthday, Anne, or whatever. And then we'd also give them a menu, and, some people kept it, and sometimes they share it with me, which is nice that they kept it. But that's how that started. And
that's cool. That's cool. I have a couple of restaurant menus that have done that. Oh, and I think that is such a classy thing.
Yeah.
And it's a simple thing. Even here, we talk
Just
about
a
it all the
little
time.
touch.
Just it's that little touch, that simple joy that you could deliver someone, and that personal touch that if I sat at the table, oh wow, they really do care.
Yeah.
I will. It's Fushimi. Before it was Fushimi, the sushi place on Page Avenue.
Mhm.
If you told them it was your birthday, and I think they still, because the manager I think is still the same, they put confetti on the table and a balloon, and
That's cute.
you don't, they don't charge you for it. It's just something
Yeah,
that they
They
do.
do. Right.
But those little things mean something.
Right. I know we went to Seasons 54 for our anniversary one year, and they did it. They put a little card, a little bud vase, and it was nice. It was nice, and it's not a big deal. It doesn't cost a lot, but it makes people, feel a little bit more loyal to you.
No, it's true. And so I know Grandpa Jim, if you're still watching, we celebrate Jim's birthday every time we go out. So it's become a thing. And my thing, if I'm making an open table, I specifically do it on open table. If I'm making a reservation, or you know what I do when I call too? Are you celebrating something?
Right.
I always say yes.
Yeah.
And it's more about, I want to see how they respond and what they do.
Right.
Some places don't even see the note in the comments on open table, which disturbs me because I feel like that's
Why would you?
such an important thing.
Hmm.
They just ignore it completely, and then you have to tell them when you get to the restaurant, or they go above and beyond. And so, Jim, if we should have went to Reno and Vegas last month,
Yeah.
and you would have celebrated maybe your 90th birthday.
Yeah. At least once.
At least once. And it's always special. We laugh. Harris Steakhouse in Reno. Happy birthday, Jim. They came out with the tuxedo dipped chocolates, and we had to take pictures like it was a thing. And I mean, it's not about not paying for something. I'm just curious, the business person in me,
Right.
how they respond to that.
Right. How they handle that.
So that's a charge to any restaurant. You should be making anybody feel
Yeah.
special. And so Pam's been doing it since when Pam was doing it day one. You may have started that trend, Pam.
Oh, I don't know. Somebody started Happy Birthday, and it wasn't me. I'll tell you that. But I will tell you that I have a new appreciation for birthday parties now, and with these drive-by parties, I think they're phenomenal, and they're actually very good for the economy because people are still going about their decorations with balloons and chocolates and party favors. They're still doing that.
Yeah.
They're just doing it in a different direction. Staten Islanders are huge party people. We love our parties, and especially on the South Shore. So this is good that it continues. People are not going to give it up, which is nice.
I know you mentioned in your show this morning that even though Party City is closed, that people are still finding ways to find balloons. So a lot of times they're using smaller vendors that is helping them out.
Yeah, big time. Interestingly, there's a Sweet Occasion. These are people that are on the North Shore, but they do the whole island. A Sweet Occasion in West Brighton. They do beautiful, beautiful arrangements. Danielle Rowley started a business, or took over a business called Balloons and Chocolate Galore. That's in Port Richmond. She's the owner of Egger's Ice Cream Parlor. She does massive displays and has gotten very good at it. She's owned the business since February. And then she does edible arrangements too. So she does beautiful strawberries. They're very elaborate with the toppings and the dips and everything. And then the other one who does it very well actually is Tommy Beyer. He does the individual balloons, the Mylar,
Yeah.
they're called. And so Tommy Beyer at Buyer's Market in Willowbrook, they also started doing that. And they've been doing great selling balloons. It's a little perk that you can get from the convenience there.
It's funny that you mentioned that because we do balloons here for our parties and events, and I got a lot of requests for, hey, do you have helium? We'd love to bolt, and we have nothing. I couldn't even offer it because I didn't have any left. And I'm interested to see after all this. There's been a helium shortage for years.
Couple of years, yeah.
And
I didn't know that. That's fascinating.
It's fascinating. You should look up where helium comes from.
Yes.
And Pam, it might blow your mind, but you're going to learn that in the southern part of this country, it comes from the atmosphere, and our space, NASA is one of the largest buyers of helium, and
it's weird.
It's absolutely insane. So there's been a shortage, and when this shortage was starting, even to today,
we were limited to.
You could only buy one. If you buy a tank today, you need another refill. You can't buy 2 tanks. You can only buy a tank at a time based on what you've been using. And so it's hard to get helium. And Party City went through it when the prices went true to roof. And then they weren't selling the little cans.
Right.
Pam, it's an interesting story that somebody, I mean, it's been written a lot, but I think people take it for granted because you could buy helium in balloons.
Right.
But people complain about the cost of it. But there is a real shortage.
It's a real thing.
As a natural gas, it's a huge shortage.
Wow, that's wild. I never knew that. And you know, there's some bizarre things that have popped up in the pandemic that things like I appreciate things so much more now. You know, I appreciate yeast. I mean, yeast there was a shortage of yeast in the Northeast. I appreciate flour. You know, like we buy flour by the sack actually because my husband does a lot of baking, and it was hard to get it by the sack. Even and Restaurant Depot had it, but if you wanted to get it on Staten Island, the only place that was really carrying it was either if you ordered it through like Met Foods, or if we would get it through. They have a good brand at Pickleworks in Concord. So those are the only. You know, it was really wild. That and what was the other thing? Oh, Chinese food. We talked about that, you know, like the Chinese places and such. But crazy.
And to think that yeast, prior to this, we had seen an increase in cost to begin with. Cheese, oil, eggs, and yeast. And it fluctuated, but there were issues.
But they were definitely, there was definitely, and you're right, it started before this.
And before this, this sounds crazy, but there was a chicken wing shortage. So to buy chicken, we went to that, right? At one point, we had a conversation. Marco goes, I can't buy them. I don't even know if I should even offer them because they're so expensive.
Wait a minute. So chicken wings, I guess it was because of Super Bowl Sunday?
No. In general, there was a shortage. So we were, and then Cisco and US Foods both, you were only able to buy a couple cases at a time, and the price skyrocketed. It's come down now a little bit, but before this goes way before the pandemic. But it was an issue for a good 6 months, and so seeing what's happening now, same thing with food, pork specifically, the cost has gone up.
Yeah,
chicken, it's going to be interesting to see how
we come out,
how we kind of pull out, and if we're still going to have these issues, because I think.
I just want to tell you that everybody right here, you know, Nazareth, Frank, and Dennis, and Daniel, and Arthur, you guys really, I have to tell you, you really inspire me very much. So I always go on this show and I have like the worst writer's block. And then when I'm done, like, boom, like something clicks. So I was trying to figure out the last line of a story and I can't file it for like an hour and a half, and boom, it just hit me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So
we do here.
You're welcome. Appreciate the toilet paper.
It's really true. It's really true. It all comes together.
You can only, you're still limited to buy paper products.
Yeah.
It's still better.
And cleaning, and a lot of cleaning products too.
Lysol wipes
and
you can't get.
So, because
you can't get Lysol wipes. I don't think I think they're like, they can't make them fast enough.
They can't make them fast enough. Yeah. Even to do a normal stocking of a store, it's craziness a little bit.
It's wild, and I think I just, you know, it's like a whole new world. I mean, and I don't know if we needed a reset button, maybe.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. You know, we get so used to having things like at our fingertips, whether you can just go to the corner store and get it or look on Amazon and order it. You know, you honestly get spoiled, that it gets frustrating when you can't get, you know, something that you might not even need. You just want to have it. And then now these are things we need. And, you know, this is the real struggle. You know?
Yeah. And it's because people are home. You know, more people are home, so they're cooking and they need things in their home. Yeah. When we're out, you don't need to have all those supplies in your house. So when we're able to go out, it'll start to change a little bit. But I mean, when does that true reset button happen? Yeah. But because we're cooped up, that's what you need, these stuff to be in the house all the time. I'm not used to being home as much as I am now. Yeah. It's driving me. I thought it drove me bananas the first week. It's driving me bananas.
Frank, you have to appreciate being
I appreciate
around your family.
Everything. I do, but I'm done.
It's only going to be within a matter of months before you're like, remember when we could sit at home until like 11 o'clock? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Those days will be over soon.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate it all. I mean, but it comes to a point where
I was talking to Megan Coppola of Beans and Leaves Cafe earlier today, and it was really good to hear her voice. I haven't spoken to her in a few weeks, and we were kind of agreeing on where we were with our children. I mean, the kids have been like not cooped up, but I mean, they just have not seen their friends, and it's just like now it's starting to get a little weird. It's like it's been since what, March, like early March. This is
Early March.
So my son was chalking up the garage yesterday or the other day, and he was doing these colorful diagrams and everything, and my brother came and started doing it. And the reason why they did it was because over on the next block you can see the back of the garage, so they're like, oh well, maybe some child or the kids who live behind us will see it and they'll perk them up. And so they did that, and then yesterday a bunch of kids started coming over to them like, hey, what are you drawing? So it was like starting to attract people. We don't want that. So
does that
not
kid
so fast.
does that kid have a mask on?
Right.
Did that kid do his antibodies test?
Right.
Oh my gosh, what a strange time.
Stand at the foot of the driveway with the temperature, the temperature gun.
That will be very weird.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Well, this world is going to be different. It's going to be changed.
It is. That reminds me of I've seen some videos and photos from apartment buildings in Manhattan around the country, but somebody, they take Post-it notes and they make a picture in their window and they send a message. Have you seen those? Where if I write hi in my window with Post-it notes, they're hoping that somebody across the way responds. And then there's this one image of these two apartment buildings. Who's got a Mario in the window? And every day they're doing different things just to communicate and be different. So it's taking that, but they're not seeing each other in person, but they're just communicating through their windows. It's pretty cool.
That's very cool. That's like going to prison and you put your hand on the glass, And
I hate to laugh, but yes.
Hi, hon. How are you?
It's better that than the tongue on the glass.
Oh, Frank, what kind of prisons are you going to?
Well, it's funny. I was
just talking about putting.
One last thing I wanted to say. Speaking of prison, I just wanted to throw this out there, and this, before you end your show. So the guy who owns Palermo Pizzeria in Richmond Valley, I give him a lot of credit. He's very outspoken and stands his ground. Like he had gotten into trouble for putting tables and chairs outside. The sheriff's office came to basically tell him put it away or or else, and you can get a fine of up to whatever $10,000 or more. So anyway, so he put the chairs and tables away reluctantly, and then he's an accountant by trade, Sal, and he says to me, some of my clients are out of jail. They got kicked out of jail because they had the COVID. So they kicked them out of jail. They're roaming around Staten Island with ankle bracelets. And here these guys are, these criminals, that
right.
And I'm the criminal because I'm putting my tables in
money, right.
Anyway, I just thought that was kind of a funny Staten Island story.
Yeah, sadly, there's a lot of those double standards out there. Hey, before you do go, I want to share today's meme of the day. So this is so true. This is very true. Every single pizza place in New York City starter pack.
Yeah.
Everybody's
that's really clever.
Everybody's famous. Everybody's
Did you make this up?
No, I didn't make it. I found it on the internet.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. That's like
the best pizza in New York
and the
City.
Pictures of the celebrities.
Yeah, that's so true. That's that and the starter kit for a hipster restaurant, which is stool chairs from Target and the metal chairs and a picture of a rooster or
That is so true. That's another really true one.
Yeah.
Look at Jay's on the Bay as a perfect example. So here, that's your. That's too funny.
I love Jay's on the Bay, by the way.
I do too. We haven't ordered them in a long time. Yeah. We were ordering lunch. We order lunch because we like to try and spread the wealth and try different things. We had a week. I think we had it 3 times, which his food is not very healthy.
No, it's massive, and but he does a nice job.
He really does. It's comfort food for sure.
It's funny because we went there one morning for breakfast. We were going there pretty often for breakfast, and we were there one Sunday morning, and some soldiers came in. So evidently, I don't know if they were from the Coast Guard but they regularly get soldiers there for breakfast on Sundays, I guess. And it was a pretty big group. I mean, the place is tiny to begin with, but they took they put all the tables in the middle together, and we bought breakfast for them, and they were so thankful. It was so nice that they came over and they gave us, like, they had patches that they had on their uniforms, and they gave us like a few of them.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was they were like so thankful that somebody thought to do it. And I was like, should never have to pay for food.
People should be doing that every day.
People should be doing it every week.
That's nice.
But yeah, it was nice. It was nice. It was a nice thing.
You did a nice thing. You always do nice things, so you can.
Yeah.
Hey, Pam, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me. It's really nice. It's really, honestly, you've been keeping me sane, and I enjoy your show very, very much. And keep up the good work.
If we're keeping you sane, you're definitely helping keeping us sane.
Thank you.
So we look forward to seeing you next Thursday. It'll be Food Thursday with Pam, and then every morning Pam's on Facebook.
On at 9:00. Catch that show. I love listening.
She gives an update on whatever's going on in Pam's world and whatever's going on in Staten Island.
And you know what's great? She has a lot of the restaurant owners that pop in, give a little update of what's going on with their place, and there's a nice little conversation among it's great. I always, sometimes I just sneak in and sit there and watch the conversation.
And just remember, if you enjoy watching Pam, remember, go back over a month ago. Massimo from Vinum was on, and he broke the news that he was doing this virtual wine pairing and tasting event.
Yeah, he's done a couple since
and I think
then.
tonight's the fourth one that he's doing.
It's amazing. He's doing great with that. He's a great innovator. Yeah, that's one of the great things that came out of this whole nonsense.
I actually was looking forward to the next one, and then of course I saw it last night. And it was already too late. I was like, the next. I keep looking, but good for him. It's awesome. So
great idea. I love it.
Pam, we will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m.
So long. Wow.
Bye, Pam.
Enjoy
Thank
your
you.
day.
She's the best.
I love her.
Thank you, Pam. And always through this time, the scene is continuing to change. So it's nice to have an idea.
I think on Thursdays.
Oh boy.
No. It doesn't require her doing anything.
Are we eating?
On Thursdays, I'm so inspired by her. I'm going to wear a scarf on Thursdays.
Oh.
She always has beautiful scarves.
She does.
And I have so many scarves that I haven't worn because I haven't really, it's not really working. But I'm going to start wearing a scarf on Thursday.
So you and Pam and Dr. Burks would be the scarf ladies.
Oh, big scarf ladies. There
And
it is.
she has nice scarves.
She's
Somebody's dressing her if she's not dressing herself, but she does have nice scarves.
She's got
a hashtag.
The first one to bring that
lady.
to my attention was Laura Hepworth. Brought to my attention that she had at some point stepped up her.
Who's this?
She was talking about Dr. Burks.
Oh, Dr. Burks. Oh, yeah.
That she was talking about that she had stepped up her game there.
Yeah, whatever works.
Clothing game.
You're going to be on
TV.
You might as well
every day.
So Karina, the Vinum on Bay Street does a wine tasting pairing dinner. It's virtual, and so what happens is they post the menu. It's a 4-course meal, and I mean, we did the first one, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. They delivered it before the Zoom call. They sent you the information. The first one happened to be an Italian winemaker.
Right.
It was 1 a.m. in Italy. He was on.
He was there talking about the wine.
And I live on the South Shore. I live in Great Kills, so I mean at the beginning of the South Shore. Right. So, but think about the delivery. They delivered to us. They're delivering all over Staten Island.
They deliver to me. I'm all the way in the other direction. I live by the ferry.
Right. Well, you're closer to him.
Right.
Oh, well,
right.
Yeah, you're closer.
Yeah.
So I think it winds up being like $80 after all said and done. And it's awesome. The Massimo talks about the food. They talk about the wine. And I mean, the quality of his food is great. And it was rabbit. We had pasta, carpaccio. I mean, it was all stuff that really traveled well. And dessert, of course, was part of it.
Yeah.
But you should check it out. It's Vinum, Vinum on Bay Street.
And now, since it's gotten really popular, that I know that I don't know about this one, but the one before that they sold out. So it's limited to how many meals they prep, but yeah. So if you catch Venom, go on their website. They're on Facebook. They're their website, and yes, Venom NYC.
Check it out. I did enjoy. I saw it too late, and I was like, oh. But anyway, the next time.
Yeah, next time.
You can't do it all the time. I mean, we're eating. We've been trying to save some money and eat in,
Right.
but also support everybody, and at the same time,
You got to kind of.
You got to mix it up.
Got to mix it up.
Yeah, and they'll definitely deliver to Old Town easily. A friend of ours did it for their anniversary dinner. Like, that was something special. She said she could use a good, nice date night with the husband.
It really was. I sent pictures. I showed you pictures of mine. I set up a nice little romantic table.
We saw it on the Zoom.
It was really nice.
The cool part about the experience is that it's like you're sitting. Listen, don't get me wrong. It does not replace the restaurant experience. No. And when you go there, Massimo is always talking to everybody and comes out of the kitchen, and it doesn't replace that. However, the cool part, all these different people on the Zoom call.
It was more interactive in a way.
It was like I'm always in a restaurant, and I will always look at the other tables,
right, what they're eating,
and I will if there's something that I see that I don't know what it is or I'm intrigued, I will ask you, and that's exactly what happened on the Zoom call. Right. We happened to know a bunch of the people on the call, so it was easier to interact, and so. Joanne Garanzer was on the Zoom call, and she jumped. She was like one of the first ones. Yeah, jumped right in. Yeah. Everybody was saying hello to each other and talking about the food, and it was cool.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
So, and that was.
And then if you didn't want to, you didn't have to. You could just sit there and eat your meal.
You don't even have to do the Zoom. You could just enjoy it without, or just mute yourself and just listen to the winemaker. Yeah. Hey, we've been sharing some old photos. It's our 25th anniversary, and here's an old photo. It's not an old photo, but I don't even know what year this is from. But typically every August we host a blast off event where we invite the community to come and bowl for free. So this will be the second year that we didn't do it. But check this out. This is a Harry on the rig of Richmond Engine. They come and they show off the truck, and
that was cute. Get
people excited about fire safety and get to go.
I think they tried to recruit him.
They might have tried to recruit him. Although sitting in the rig is a little tough.
Yeah. Well,
his head rubs against the top of the.
Yeah, he's got a large head. That's what she said.
Oh, Nazareth!
I haven't had a chance.
I know we haven't. We really haven't had that many chances. And although we had, and it's just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. Hey, and so it's Thursday. We had a great talk with Pam. We had our hero of the day.
Yep, we had it all.
Dan O'Sullivan, thank you. And tomorrow's Friday, so we're back here tomorrow.
Until further notice, every day, Frank. 2
p.m., unless for some reason that changes. And but every day, 2 p.m. here, live from Rabs, from Inside Rabs, Naz and I, and special guest tomorrow is Friday.
Who's joining us tomorrow?
Tomorrow, we got a busy day tomorrow. So before Live from Rabs, you could catch myself and past President Andrew Kane on the Sport of Bowling
definitely
show
watch that.
On the USB. You don't have to. I mean, I don't know what to. I really haven't gotten the notes yet, so I don't know what to expect or what Chad's interviewing both Andrew and I. So you can visit the United States Bowling Congress Sport of Bowling Facebook page and catch the Sport of Bowling show. That's at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
And then 12:45 p.m. Eastern, excuse me. And then you'll come and catch us at 2 o'clock. Lots of entertainment tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And tomorrow's guest
is... then...
Wait. Tomorrow's
guest.
Tomorrow's guests.
Corey Schiffer.
Casale Jewelers. Staten Island's Crazy Eddie, Crazy Corey. And then tomorrow night is Bingo. So for those of you that don't know, this North Shore Rotary Club of Staten Island hosts virtual bingo. Myself and Christine Dehart comes into the studio and we host our bingo night. It's our 5th one. sinorthshorerotary.org/bingo.
Much fun.
We call numbers. We play Plinko. We have a money wheel. I mean, we've given away over $5,000 in prizes in the last month. So come and join us 7 o'clock on Facebook, on the Facebook.
If you don't know, now you know.
Oh, the song. Come and join us and be a part. Support our efforts in our community. while also having a good time while you're cooped up at home with your friends and family. It's become a family affair. I mean, there are at least 70 viewers, Facebook users live, but I know that translates to sometimes 100 to 130, 40 players.
People, right.
So we've had a lot of fun, give away a lot of prizes, local restaurant gift cards, Visa gift cards, scratch-offs, cash
money, baby.
the old Scarol. So
Scarol.
come and be a part of bingo tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
And it's fun. You know, it's Friday. What are you doing? You gonna watch Netflix again?
Netflix and chill.
Netflix and what? And chill.
And chill.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of that.
Yeah, I'm about wiped out on Netflix. Right
And
now.
now we're watching a show that's on Amazon. So we're just all over the place. And then Saturday, Pro Bowler Saturday for our bowlers out there. The one and only Rhino Page. Is going to join us, and this has been fun.
It has been. Today was a fun day. I love when Pam is here.
Pam's great. We talk food. Well, we talk food every day. So if you're thinking we're talking about food today, we're always talking about food.
Well, we ratchet it up a little bit when Pam is here.
Of course. Well, I mean, she's the Staten Island food self-proclaimed. We called her this Staten Island. Another one that we've created. She's going to have to put an F and trademark. Ronnie, happy birthday to your wife. He's planning a day with his family, social distancing. He's going to watch the show tomorrow night, but then he'll join us on Saturday.
I'm sure he will.
So happy birthday to your wife. I wish I would knew your wife's name. And we talked about it last week, and it out of my head. Happy birthday. So
hopefully everything is.
Thanks for watching. Like, share,
subscribe.
Tell your friends and family.
As my friend says, smash that like button.
Smash the like button.
Smash the like button.
Not the angry button, the like button. Or the love button. Linda, happy birthday, Linda.
Somehow we always get an angry face.
Somebody by accident presses it. So if you smash the like button.
Yes, here it is.
And the love. And we will see you tomorrow.
And we love the hearts, too. We like the
hearts. That's what we listen, right now in this world, we need a lot of love.
What the world needs now is love. Frank.
Sweet love.
It's the only thing.
Oh. Until tomorrow.
That was awesome.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.